Now, workers at the troubled Emfuleni local municipality have not received their September salaries. Eskom recently attached the municipality's bank accounts over a debt that has skyrocketed to billions of rand. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is tracking that story. She joins us now for more. Nqobile, it's now well into October, the 2nd of October. Some workers would have been paid towards the end of September. What's going on?
Well, I can tell you, Michelle, that they still have not received that payment. In fact, some stood here and said they're demanding that people actually be paid. And just to give you an idea, and I'm going to ask the gentleman just to stand on the side, this is what you see happening on the ground. Of course, this is some of the workers that are quite disgruntled by the fact that they have not received that salary. The major issue, of course, Michelle, being the fact that most of them have responsibilities, and this responsibility has not been taken care of. Some was clear in saying that this is not their problem, it's the municipality problem, and so they should not be held accountable for what they couldn't control. You will know that a lot of people here fall under SAMU, but I want to bring in now the municipality to speak to us about this. And we understand that, of course, it's a difficult time for the municipality, but the question is, how far are your talks in ensuring that they get their salary?
Yeah, no, thank you to you and your listeners at home. We are already at the tail end of negotiations. What I know from this morning from the COO is that there already is an agreement in place. They are just cleaning up the documents, fixing the legal language and all that. But it looks good, and we are hoping that by the end of today we will get a comprehensive report as to where to from here. But the commitment is that probably before the end of Friday, we should have received our salaries.
And of course, it's very difficult for your workers because they're out here. And I remember yesterday when you were having this conversation, you spoke about service delivery being one of the things that are at the heart of the municipality. But how do you then get service delivery when the workers are not working?
No, of course, it's not all workers that are not at work today, as you can see. Yeah, there are those that are at work, there are those that are not at work. As far as we understand, service delivery is still continuing and is not as interrupted as optimally as it should. So for now, we are continuing to give services with the hope that this matter will be closed as soon as possible. And in our view, this matter should have been avoided because we had an agreement in place with Eskom. We were just surprised by their court actions. But other than that, all we can say is that let's continue to hope in the discussion. And as I've already said to you, that they look very positive. Yesterday when I was talking to Poli, the Minister of Court indicated to them that an agreement has been resolved and it's just a matter of administration process to make sure that everything is finalized adequately and properly.
And just lastly, as a question to you, let's talk about administration, because this is an administration in itself. And of course, you've found yourself here because of some services that have not been delivered or the certain amount that has not been paid to these parastatals. Tell us, why did Emfuleni find itself in this case specifically, having owed so much money to Eskom and Rand Water?
You know, let's put the Rand Water aside, because Rand Water's matter has been attended to. And I don't think we'll have such a problem because we are already in partnership with them to try and resolve that matter. In as far as Eskom, of course, we know that we owe them. But we don't owe them the money that is purported in the, out there. One, we're already in a negotiation and discussion. What we're agreeing on now, it's what has always been our view in terms of signing the agency agreement. It's just that we're not agreeing with certain clauses, which they finally agreed to. Of course, we understand that we owe Eskom, but we have been paying Eskom. The only thing is that we're paying according to what we afford, not according to what they wanted. You would understand that we have got 52% unemployment in the entire Top region. And we've got also many people who are illegally connected who don't want to pay. And we've got a minimal number of people who come forward to say that they don't afford, who should be in the indigent register. They don't want to come forward. So it's a responsibility of all of us as citizens, as stakeholders, as political parties to mobilize society that all those who are receiving services, they must be able to account and pay for those services. Once that has happened, I don't think we'll be in this position that we are finding ourselves in. But we remain committed to resolve the matter with Eskom, and we remain committed to pay. And we continue to pay the current account. Of course, the historic debt, we are unable to afford it. That is very much clear. That's why we are included in the debt relief program by National Treasury, which we hope in the next few coming years we would have resolved the matter, and then we would not be on Eskom.
Thank you very much, Makosonke, for speaking to us. That is the municipality. But of course, this area has councillors, Michelle, and one of those is a PR councillor from EFF. And I want to bring him in because obviously as a person who's a councillor, you'd be privy to some of the service delivery issues that are plaguing this area.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. I think Emfuleni as a whole, generally we have a crisis, a serious crisis that starts basically with the leadership of the ANC in this region, in this municipality. Their arrogance is what has led us to this position. And in everything that they do, they are not transparent. They have to be honest with themselves that they have failed. They forever source out advice from national and provincial leadership. I don't understand why the municipality should rely on assistance from the province and national at all times when they know that they are the ones in the wrong. It's rather unfortunate that we should have workers being subjected to such conditions year in, year out. This is something that could have been resolved only if the ANC in Emfuleni was willing to listen and take advice from other parties like the EFF have done in the past.
Tell me, what are the solutions that you are putting in place? You're a PR councillor, and of course, there are service issues that are plaguing this area. People are worried about water, they're worried about lights. But as a person that is a councillor, what is it that you say is a solution in order to assist the people on the ground?
I think we should start with the mayor. He must just admit that he has failed. And the issue of service delivery in terms of water and the sewer and all those things are not a new thing in Emfuleni. The services have collapsed a long time ago. We can't be sitting here complaining about services continuing as they say that they have services. There are no services delivered to our people currently. So we are of a view that, as stated in our provincial statement by the EFF leadership, the mayor should resign. He has failed dismally. The people around him have failed. All the MMCs in Emfuleni have failed dismally. And we can't always come back to media or meet around the corners of the streets with burning tires and everything. It's not fair. It's not of their doing. It's because of the leadership of the ANC, which is so arrogant, and does not want to listen to anyone.
All right, thank you very much for speaking to us. That is a PR councillor, Michelle, and of course, he's one of the people that would be closer to people on the ground. But I want to show you what's happening behind me. Of course, the streets, this is just behind the municipality's offices. It's just blocked off. The workers, of course, showing their grievances and their disgruntledness by burning the tires, as you can see, they're happening, and most of them being outside. But we've heard from the municipality that not all of them are currently outside, but we understand that this municipality office is estimated to have over 2,000 workers, and these workers have not been paid, including those that are contracted to the municipality, and that includes some of the workers that are security guards, which we understand are over 700 people that work within the area. So it's a concern, of course, for those that have not been paid. But we are hearing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel from Makosonke explaining to us that they potentially will get that money before the end of Friday.
Sure, let's hope so. Nqobile Madlala, thanks very much indeed.